Well, guys, we've got some really big news. As you know, recently, Judge Torres from the SEC versus Ripple case denied the motion or the request from both Ripple and from the SEC that an injunction be removed and a fine be reduced. And she says, you know what? The decision's been made. You guys got to work it out. You have to go forward with your appeals because they both had appeals. The SEC appealed, and Ripple had done something called a cross appeal. And so she says, you either drop it or you move forward with it. But if you want to take another step, you guys push it forward. I've made my decision. And so she left it at that. Stuart Alderati, here at the bottom, you can see him here. He says, with this, the ball is back in our court. That was after the denial. The court gave us two options: dismiss our appeal challenging the finding on historic institutional sales, or press forward with the appeal. And he finishes it off by saying, stay tuned. Well, we stood tuned, and of course, as you saw at the top part of that post, Brad gave us the update. Let's take a look at that. So the update from Brad at the top of that is, Ripple is dropping our cross appeal, and the SEC is expected to drop their appeal, as they've previously said, and they did. They have said that in the past. We're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's most important: building the internet of value. Lock in. So you might want to pause and screen capture that. So you might wonder, well, where does that leave us? Well, first of all, it looks like what's going to happen is Ripple's just going to drop their appeal and pay the fine, which right now stands at $150 million. Now you might think, and I might think, and I do think, that's a lot of money, man. But keep in mind, Ripple has a $100 billion with a B billion dollar war chest. They got a lot of money, these people. So $150 million bucks to get these things out of their way and plow forward in the industry, I think it's worth it. Just get it done. Now, the other thing that's hanging in my mind is, first of all, we do have to wait for the SEC to drop their appeal as well. They have said, since President Trump took the helm, that they would be interested in dropping that appeal. So I think that they will. But now my curiosity has got to be, are you going to take that $150 million fine in XRP? And if you do take it in XRP, does it get added to the digital asset stockpile? Because it is a revenue neutral way of acquiring XRP. And if you remember the post that President Trump put out there about cryptocurrencies and the digital asset stockpile, he mentioned XRP first, and it came right from him. So maybe they add $150 million worth of XRP. Remember Vivo Power from Saudi Arabia? They bought $100 million worth of XRP and then entrusted that to Flare to create some yield for them. Let's see what the government does. Do they take that in XRP? I hope so. I really do, because all of this news together is crazy good. I think we'll start to see some positive signs this coming week. If not for sure within the next 3 to 4 weeks. We're still waiting to see which way that big beautiful bill heads, because it's heavy on digital currencies, but it also has a whole lot of other stuff in it that helps to fulfill the promises of President Trump's campaign. And so we'll see what happens with that. Are they going to attach a market structure bill to that? I don't know. But I'm starting to feel like we're getting there, guys, step by step. With this move here, if they get rid of their appeal and their cross appeal, pay the fine, then that's it, finito. And it is completely in their hands. But of course, and there was also that injunction. They wanted to remove an injunction on historical institutional sales that happened somewhere back in 2014 to 2016. That doesn't matter. So basically, it doesn't affect what's going on now, because XRP is not a security, and it's officially not a security. But in the way that they sold those institutional sales back then, that could have been deemed a security, and that's kind of where the judge stood. Now, what's happening going forward is Ripple. There are rumors that Ripple might acquire an exchange, an online exchange, and the one that they're talking about is Uphold, because the court specifically mentioned it's okay for them to sell XRP through those exchanges. So might as well buy an online exchange and run some sales through there while we finish up these details here. And it also gives them direct access to institutions and direct access to us, the retail consumer. Anyhow, that's the big news for today. Hope your weekend's going well. I just had me some chicken, and I'm going to go and do a little bit of I don't know, maybe some shopping. We'll see. Something. I'm just spending my day chilling out a little bit. I got to go home, and I got some work to do at home. But I needed to get out and get some fresh air, and I had to share this with you guys. So hope you guys are doing well. Like, share, subscribe, bookmark it, and don't forget to tell your friends. Things are getting heating up in the crypto market. We'll see you guys on the next one. Till next time. Adios, amigos.